After a devastating start to the season, the Lakers have seemingly turned it around. They're currently 8-2 in their last 10 games, and the turning point of their season has been Anthony Davis going on a hot run of form. So, in today's video, we'll take a look at how good the Lakers and AD have been in the last few weeks. Let's dive in. Starting with, the Lakers are back. The NBA is truly a better place when the Lakers are playing well, isn't it? Some rival fans might not agree with us, but it's true. It's always better to have the best and biggest teams playing well, and we're very happy with the way the Lakers have managed to turn their season around. They went on 2 consecutive runs of 5 losses each on either side of 2 wins to start the season.
Quarter. Halftime score 61-59, Philly up. Westbrook to LeBron James.
And a 2-10 record is generally not the most ideal way to start the season, is it? But the way they responded was very sensational. They went on an 8-2 run after that, and their latest win was against the Washington Wizards.
Watch this again, just a delightful little, almost Magic Johnson dime from LeBron there. Then LeBron.
Before that, they defeated the Milwaukee Bucks in a very thrilling finish.
Giannis for the reverse jam. Anthony Davis blocks Giannis this time. The Lakers go the other way. LeBron James to Lonnie Walker.
As the Lakers held on. Plus, the run also included back-to-back wins against the San Antonio Spurs and a great performance against the Portland Trail Blazers too. And if not for their defeat to the Indiana Pacers, where they squandered a 17-point lead in the final quarter, they could have been a place higher on the Western Conference table too. The only other game they lost in that run was against the Phoenix Suns, which was something of a demolition because the Lakers never looked like winning it. Plus, they were without LeBron James too due to some injury concerns. So their recent record is very good, and they've managed to get themselves on track to push for a playoff position. But what has been the reason behind their good run?
Of course, in college, he went to the University of Oregon. AD counted and one as he challenged Porzingis.
Taking a deep dive into the Lakers' recent performances, it was a relatively easier run for the Lakers in the last 10 games. But you still need to win the easier games to remain in contention, and they certainly needed to make the most of that run. They had to play the Pistons once.
Anthony Davis passes to LeBron James. LeBron James hits the 3 from the top of the key.
And the San Antonio Spurs 3 times before hosting the Trail Blazers and the Pacers at Crypto.com Arena. It also included trips to Phoenix, Milwaukee, and Washington, and they were to kick it all off with Brooklyn in LA. The Lakers won the first 3 games during the run, defeating the Brooklyn Nets 116-103, and while they should have also won the game against the Kings, at least they're on track now. They would go on a run of 3 consecutive wins, including the one against the Nets while hosting the Pistons and the Spurs, and their form on the road was also good, as they lost only 1 game against the Suns in the next 3, winning both matches in San Antonio. But most importantly of all, the Lakers are looking good too now. An attractive type of basketball is being played in all LA games, and it has coincided really well with LeBron James's return from injury. They'll be hoping to continue this run of form in the next few games, but they've got some tough games coming up. Trips to Cleveland, Toronto, Philly, and Detroit beckon for the Lakers before they host the Boston Celtics at the Crypto.com Arena. How many wins can they get in this run?
It was atrocious. 3 for 19. The lob, the jam. Hello, LeBron to AD.
Now, let's take a look at Anthony Davis's MVP shouts. The orchestrator of the Lakers' comeback has been Anthony Davis. In the last 11 games, AD has been on top of the world for the Lakers. His form is basically the biggest reason behind the franchise turning it around, and it's all been thanks to his promise to Darvin Ham. And it gets even better when you realize that he's been filling in as a center, which isn't his natural position. But that hasn't stopped AD from being the highest scorer for the Lakers in 9 out of his 10 outings.
Off a pass from Russell Westbrook. Davis misses, but that's just fine because he grabs the rebound and just throws it home.
And he's been the leading rebounder in all 10 of those outings. This monstrous form has earned MVP shouts, and many believe he's well in the running for the prestigious award. Of course, there's an element of bias involved too, because his form hasn't gone on for the entire season, and he's only been putting these performances in the last dozen games or so. For the MVP award, he'd have to keep this form up for the rest of the campaign, because most of the other names on the list have been extremely consistent, and he'll also have to negotiate with injury concerns that have marred his career so far. We'll explore his performances and statistics in more detail later in the video, but as far as the MVP award is concerned, the shouts might be a little premature. But that doesn't mean he can't win it. There are still many more games to play, and if Davis can keep this form up, he'll be up there with the MVP contenders. Next up,
26.7 rebounds for Kuzma. And we finish with LeBron throwing it up.
AD's performances have been world-class. Few people can doubt Anthony Davis's class. His only problem is his unavailability, because whenever he does play, few are truly better. The center has been averaging 27.3 points per game this season and has been coming up with 12.3 boards per game. These are sensational numbers, and apart from those two back-to-back campaigns in 2016 and 2017, AD has never averaged more points. In fact, if he keeps it up, it wouldn't surprise us if he goes past the 28.1 career-high PPG he averaged in 2017. As far as boards are concerned, he's never had more rebounds per game in any season throughout his career. He had 12 in the 2018 season for the Pelicans, but he's never averaged more than 9.8 for the Lakers, which he did over 40 games last season. This season, he's got that number up to 12.3, and the fact that he's been playing center has something to do with it, obviously. And over the stretch of the last 10 games that he's played in, he's led every game in rebounds for the Lakers and has come up with the most points in 9 out of 10 of those games. These are serious numbers, and this kind of form means that AD is locked in and very much in the zone. This means that over the last 10 games, he's averaging a total of 34.2 points and 15.4 boards per game. Of course, no wonder he's getting those shouts. Anyone with those numbers should be getting the highest praise. Moving on, AD's magnificent weekend. But last weekend was something out of the ordinary for Anthony Davis, even in the context of the run of form he's in and the rest of his career. Some believe that he's never played better in his life, and the numbers certainly back that claim up. But if you've caught him playing the last 2 games for the Lakers, you'd definitely argue the same. That's because we've never seen AD play with as much fire as he does these days. Those 55 points that he scored against the Wizards were the most he's ever put since his move to LA, and are only 4 less than his career high of 59. But it gets even better when you realize that it's just the second time in AD's career that he produced back-to-back 40-plus point games. Also, did you know that AD only became the 10th player ever to put up at least 55 points and 17 rebounds in the NBA? He joined some magnificent players with one active star in Karl Anthony Towns, but the rest of the names are seriously super. It includes Wilt Chamberlain, Elgin Baylor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Karl Malone, Big Shaq, and MJ, of course. It looks like AD's got something on even the king. Finally, a few more numbers from AD's historic weekend. Joining that esteemed list wasn't enough for AD. He also became the first player since Patrick Ewing some 32 years ago to score 50-plus points, get 15-plus rebounds, and 3-plus blocks on 70% shooting in a regular season game. That goes a long way in highlighting the dominance AD had over the Wizards on the weekend. And as a Laker too, he becomes only the second player representing the franchise to score 40-plus points and grab 10 rebounds in back-to-back games, with Big Shaq being the only other player to do it. But he also became the only Laker to score 40-plus points, grab 10-plus rebounds, and block 3 shots in 2 consecutive games. Another list that Davis joined was one that featured George Mikan, Elgin Baylor, Jerry West, Wilt Chamberlain, along with Big Shaq, Kobe, and LeBron. Yep, all Lakers legends. This is a list of 8 players who have scored 50 points, at least on 2 occasions for the Lakers. Perhaps the biggest takeaway from all this is that the Lakers need to wrap Davis up in bubble wrap in between games.
Another look at Anthony Davis with the swinging hook shot over the top of a much taller defender.
He remains their biggest opportunity of making the playoffs this season. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think the Lakers can make the playoffs this season? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.